I want to talk to you guys about the 10 things that cause businesses to fail. Now, if you own a business, manage a business, or possibly are just getting started, try to avoid these areas. Let's get started. The first thing that I want you guys to avoid is what I call the weekend pivots. Now, if you manage or run a business, most of us don't have weekends anyway, we're working 24/7, but a lot of businesses spend their weekend thinking about their business and making decisions and thinking, maybe I can do this better, or I should try this. We should offer this coupon code. Maybe we need to redesign our website. Or they think of these, what they consider these massive epiphanies that are going to make their business successful. But they only spend 1 or 2 days thinking about it. They go into work on Monday, or they get back to the grind on Monday, and they go to their team and they say, here's what we're going to do. After they talk to the team, they explain it, and their team's kind of like, well, we really need to think about this more. I'm not sure this is going to work, or here are the concerns that I have, and they're super close-minded because they believe this great idea they had over the weekend was going to make their business flourish and grow exponentially. But what they don't realize is they didn't put enough thought and process and work behind this new idea. And so you need to avoid this. And the reason why is not to come up with new ideas. I'm not trying to discourage you guys from coming up with new things or ways to market your brand or new products or services or even coupons or maybe where you're going to advertise. But the problem is companies make changes so quickly without really thinking them through. They don't spend the time that is needed to understand, if we make this change, how is this going to ripple throughout the brand? Is it going to affect sales, customer service, brand messaging? Is it going to piss off our current customers? I have been part of brands that come up with these ideas and they launch them in a week, and then they turn around and they have their customers that have already bought their product coming to them and saying, hey, you now are doing this, and I kind of am pissed because you didn't do this for me. And so they start kind of devaluing their product and making their current customers frustrated. What I recommend that you guys do is, if this is something that you really maybe struggle with, is really to get outside opinion. Talk to other people. Work with your employees, your staff. Maybe you have people on your team. Maybe you have a mentor that you can run these ideas by before you just hit the road running. Now, I think successful businesses move fast. If they have an idea, they execute it and they do it well. But you need to avoid the pitfall of doing this on a regular basis. It will eat up your time, it eats up your resources and money so quickly, and you might not be getting a return. And so every weekend you're going through this change or this pivot in your company, and it's causing you to fail. The second thing that I see businesses do is have an outdated website. Now, I'm not trying to bash the people out there that have small businesses and you have a ton on your plate. I get that. I know what it's like. But today, consumers are relying on the information that you put on your website. They're finding it through Google, maybe Facebook, the ads that you're displaying. And when you have an outdated website, it only presents your brand as not being cohesive with a consistent message. Your website needs to be the center and one of the things that you update very first when you make a change to your brand. If you offer new products, if you've changed your hours to your location, maybe you switched phone numbers, whatever it is, your website should be number one on your list to go to and change. Stop thinking that Facebook is where everyone's going. Maybe you're getting traffic, but those Facebook people are going to your website and they're looking at your website for your hours, your location, your services, your prices, and when those are outdated or they don't match your Facebook or your Twitter, you confuse the customer and it could be hurting you. Those consumers might be thinking, well, if they don't have their story straight, what am I supposed to believe? Why would I buy from you if you don't even know what it is you're selling or how to sell it or where you're located, what phone number you are? It doesn't matter what it is. Make sure your website is up to date, relevant, and make it the first thing that you make a change on if there's something that needs to be changed. The third thing that I think a lot of businesses fail at is abusing social media. What do I mean by abusing social media? They're on Facebook, they're on Twitter, they're on some channel, and all they do is tell their consumers or their followers or people that like them, buy our product. Here's the price. Buy our product. Here's what we can offer you. Here's the benefits. Buy our product. And all they're doing is trying to sell their company, service, or product. You're abusing it. The people that like you on social media, that follow you on social media, most likely already know who you are. So stop thinking that Facebook and Twitter and Instagram are just sales platforms. These are platforms for you to engage with your target audience, to keep your brand at the forefront of their mind. And you do that by creating amazing content that these people want to interact with. Pictures, video, articles, how-to tips and tricks. These are the things that people want. They don't want you to tell them to buy your t-shirt over and over again. Eventually, they're going to stop following you, or your message is just going to be diluted and they're going to skip over it and forget it. So stop abusing social media channels, because you're probably just pissing off your customers, or you're making them irritated and they're going somewhere else. Another reason, and the fourth, is a lot of small business owners or entrepreneurs that are launching a business immediately think that my business is going to sell itself. They believe that they have an awesome product or service that no one can resist and everyone's going to buy it. That's wrong. Just straight up wrong. If you launch a business, you have to market yourself and you have to do what your consumers want. To assume that people are just going to come, that expectation that if I build it, they will come, is not how it works anymore. Just because you build it does not mean customers are going to be flooding into your website or into your store or calling you on the phone. That's not how it works anymore. It works by active searching out your target market, selling them, showing them what you have to offer, and finding them where they're at. So if you're a small business owner or you're getting ready to launch a company, don't assume that just by creating it, that people are going to buy it or want to interact with you. The fifth reason why a lot of businesses fail is they hire the wrong person to do their marketing. Now, if you're a small business, maybe you're the one doing it. And that is mostly what a lot of businesses do, because they're getting ready to launch. They don't have an option to hire a big company, or they don't have the budget to hire a firm. That's okay. But you might have to start out. But a lot of companies that are grown, and you're a small to medium business and you have a budget, you've hired some staff, or maybe you've hired a company, they hire the wrong people. They hire a wrong person for several reasons. One, they hired somebody that had a catchy catchphrase. They were a social media guru, a marketing hacker. They did these, and these people live in their parents' basements, they learned a few things on YouTube, and then they're selling you overpriced services. That is not what you want. And a lot of businesses fail because they're finding these people, I don't know where, Upwork or Fiverr or something, and they're not qualified to market your brand. You need someone that gets your product or your service and can really help you identify who your target market is and how to reach them effectively to save you money, to save you time, and ultimately to sell your product. Getting 10,000 likes on Facebook mean nothing if no one's interacting with your brand or if no one is buying it. It doesn't matter. You can have 2 million Twitter followers, but if none of them are a customer, why are you even doing it? So you need to evaluate who is marketing your brand, why are they marketing your brand, what are their expertise? Do they have education, certifications? Do they have a proven track record? I'm not going to tell you that you have to hire somebody that has a degree, but they should have experience. If they don't have experience, then you need to make sure that you're paying them appropriately for the lack of experience they have. So I want you to be cautious. Find someone that can truly market your brand successfully. The sixth reason why a lot of businesses fail is they believe they don't have the budget to market. You maybe don't have the money that you can spend to advertise your business, but you don't need money. You need maybe time, and you need to learn how to market your business for free. You can use things like social media, YouTube, blogging, get a pamphlet, a brochure, your business card, and walk door to door. You don't need money. You need to learn the creative ways in marketing your business that don't cost you anything. So don't sit on your couch, don't be watching TV and assume that because you don't have money, you can't market. Get out there and actively pursue the channels that are free. Use places like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter to build awareness. Walk door to door and carry conversations with real people. Join small business groups or maybe your chamber of commerce. These are all great places that cost you no money, maybe a little bit of time and energy, and maybe there's a learning curve to it, but they're out there. You need to advance your marketing by finding these free channels. So don't assume that because you don't have a budget, you can't market, and don't fall into the pitfall that because you don't have dollars to spend, you can't market your company. The seventh big thing that I see a lot of businesses do is they go silent. What does that mean? That means they stop talking to their consumers. Whether it's email, social media, advertising, the worst thing you can do is start a business, you start having success, you grow awareness, people are buying your product, and then all of a sudden you stop talking. You're not on social media anymore, or you post very little. Or maybe you had ads running and you just shut them off because, hey, we're successful, we can grow on the consumers we already have. That's a wrong mentality. Never go silent. It doesn't matter if it's free marketing or paid marketing. Try to continue using those channels to grow your audience. People are going to look at it and look and say, well, on Facebook, they were actively involved in the community for weeks and weeks, and now they haven't posted anything. The consumer is going to draw the conclusion that maybe they're not around anymore. Maybe they're not selling their product or service. What happened? Why did they stop posting? Why did they stop blogging? Why did they stop sending emails? I don't see ads anymore for them. So the worst thing you can do is go silent. The eighth way that businesses fail today is they think or assume their business isn't meant for online. What do I mean by that? It's not necessarily an e-commerce store. You don't have to be selling something online. But I talk to a lot of local businesses that have an office, they're a boutique shop, maybe they're a lawyer, an accountant, or someone, and they say, well, my business really isn't an online business. It's an in-person business. Well, I'm here to tell you that your consumer is online, learning about who you are before they even walk into your business. They're searching for articles, videos, information, or looking at local businesses on Google Maps way before they walk into your business. So do not assume that your business isn't online. Number one, you need to have that website. Get a really well done website that messages your brand really well. The next thing that you need to do is not only have a website, but you need to be giving back to the internet world. What do I mean? Create a blog, create a YouTube channel. You can leverage your knowledge, your expertise, and your influence in the digital space. That will help your business grow, help you identify yourself as an expert in whatever you're selling, and therefore people are going to find you. They're going to like it. They're already there looking for information. You just need to be the person they find. The ninth area that I find businesses struggle or cause them to fail is that they believe that there's some magical time that they should be posting on the internet. Whether it's videos on YouTube or Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, blog, whatever it is, if you are online and you take my advice seriously and get online, they believe there's some magical hour or minute of the day that they should be posting information or they should be engaging in their marketing or communication on these channels. That's wrong. There is no magical hour. If there was a magical hour or minute, everyone would find out about it and everyone would be doing it, and therefore it's no longer a magical hour or minute, it's when everyone else posts. So don't fall into that pitfall. What you need to do is measure the engagement rate of whatever you're posting. Test out different times of the day, different times of the week and the month, and figure out when is best for your target market to engage with your posts. It's different for every company and business. It's not the same. I've worked for companies where Saturdays and Sundays are the best time to post information on social media. Other times I found that Tuesday night at 9 o'clock is the best time for another brand. So you need to test out all those different times, all those different channels, and figure out what works for you. There's a minute out there, but it's not the same for everyone. So don't assume that there's something that everyone's hiding on the internet and not telling you about. The 10th and final thing that I have found businesses typically fail at and causes them to go into a downslope or even ultimately shut them down is that they don't measure the right results, or they're not measuring at all. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is you have a goal, whether it's sales, subscriptions, traffic to your website, but ultimately there's something that makes you successful. And so you need to be measuring and figuring out what that is. If it's sales online, you need to know how many sales I need a month to make my business successful. And then you measure from that point backward. You don't say, well, I get 1 million views a month on my channel. Well, if you're not selling anything, what does 1 million views a month do? All it's telling you is you're getting a lot of people, but no one's buying. So there's something wrong with your process and your system. So make sure you're measuring the right thing. You also need to be measuring real results. Use the technology out there. Use Facebook Pixels, Google Analytics, these things to measure the real effectiveness of what you're doing online. There's great information out there. You just need to learn how to analyze it and apply it to your business. So if you hear someone out there say, well, it's all about impressions or it's all about the click-through rate, that's wrong. Click-through rate and things are good to look at, but they're not the end game. I could have a click-through rate of 1%, which could be really, really good because I could be selling a lot of products. But another person could be having a click-through rate of maybe 8 or 10%, which is phenomenally over the charts, but they could not be selling anything. So I want you to think about what is your end game, what's your final destination of the customer, what do you want them to do, and start measuring it. Have real results and start working towards that goal, because once you identify that and start doing it, you can exponentially grow how you market your business, the messaging you put out there, the creative you put out there, and maybe even where you're marketing your business. I hope that helps you to get a better idea of the analytics and measuring your company. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope this was a benefit to you. If you loved the video, please like it, subscribe to our channel, and keep the discussion going in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts, maybe some things we didn't talk about that you could share with the community so we can all learn. I hope you have an epic day.